Tarkin operated within the Empire through political authority rather than mystical power, and that authority dictated hierarchy. Vader possessed power, but Tarkin possessed jurisdiction and legal control within the Imperial military structure. Tarkin had the authority to make decisions that shaped planetary outcomes, while Vader acted as an enforcer of those decisions. Power without jurisdiction is influence, not command. Vader was formidable, but he was not the ranking authority on the Death Star. Within the command chain, Tarkin held the title of Grand Moff, which carried jurisdiction over military assets, fleet deployment, and strategic execution. Vader operated outside formal military structure, meaning that his authority depended on the permission of those who commanded resources. Tarkin could authorize actions that Vader could only enforce. Authority backed by systems outranks authority backed by presence. Tarkin held systems. Vader held force. During the confrontation with Admiral Motti, Vader uses the Force to assert dominance. Yet, when Tarkin instructs him to release Motti, Vader complies without negotiation. This demonstrates that Vader's power existed within boundaries. Vader did not question Tarkin's order because Tarkin represented the Empire's sanctioned structure. The obedience was not fear, but recognition that Tarkin held legal superiority in that environment. Tarkin's confidence in commanding Vader stems from understanding the parameters of Vader's authority. Vader could dominate individuals through intimidation, but Tarkin could dominate outcomes through command. Vader's influence affects scenes. Tarkin's influence affects the war. The scope of control determines hierarchy, and Tarkin's control always extended beyond the room they stood in. Tarkin recognized that Vader was dependent on the Empire for identity purpose and reach. Vader no longer held personal connections or independent networks. The Empire gave him structure, missions, and relevance. Without the Empire, Vader's reach was limited. Tarkin knew the power dynamics and understood that Vader required institutional support to remain consequential. Because Palpatine prioritized structure over raw power, Vader's position existed to enforce the Emperor's will, not shape it. Tarkin understood that Vader's authority was conditional, and based on Palpatine's approval, Vader could not oppose Tarkin without opposing the political system that sustained him. Tarkin's confidence emerged from understanding institutional leverage. Tarkin interacted with Vader without visible hesitation because he processed Vader through a strategic lens, not a personal one. He saw Vader as an asset that increased the effectiveness of Imperial rule. Tarkin's lack of fear came from evaluating Vader by function, not by myth. Since Vader served the system, and Tarkin represented the system, there was no threat to manage. Tarkin treated Vader as an equal participant in command discussion. Rather than an unpredictable weapon, he addressed Vader without deferential language, demonstrating that he saw Vader as part of the chain of command, not above it, because fear would grant Vader influence. Tarkin used confidence to maintain equilibrium. Control is sustained when hierarchy is reinforced through behavior. The Empire utilized Vader as a symbol of intimidation and myth to create compliance. Vader represented fear. Tarkin represented order. The combination was intentional. Vader enforced through presence. Tarkin enforced through policy. Tarkin understood how to use Vader visually and strategically, which further reinforced that Vader's role was execution, not governance. Vader's presence contributed to Tarkin's authority. The myth of Vader amplified Tarkin's control, rather than undermining it. Tarkin could deploy Vader when needed and dismiss him when not needed. This demonstrated that Tarkin influenced the terms of Vader's involvement, and influence over conditions is influence over power. By not fearing Vader, Tarkin showed that he understood where the real leverage existed. Political hierarchy controlled Vader, not the other way around. Tarkin did not need to overpower Vader. He needed only to remind Vader of the structure that defined his position. Confidence became command, and lack of fear became a tool. Tarkin controlled Vader not because Vader lacked power, but because power without a framework has no direction. Tarkin owned the framework. Vader operated within it. Tarkin did not dethrone Vader by strength. He restricted him through structure. He understood that the Empire did not need to overpower a weapon to control it. They only needed to direct it. Vader aligned with Tarkin because he required structure after personal collapse. The loss of Padme severed his last emotional anchor and left him without identity. Outside of duty, Tarkin provided clear direction, mission, orientation, and a defined target. Vader responded to clarity because clarity removed uncertainty and offered purpose. Vader respected results. Tarkin produced results. Tarkin did not seek. Vader's approval, he executed decisions. Measurable outcomes held Vader's attention. Vader viewed power through achievement, not through display. Tarkin demonstrated efficiency, and Vader valued efficiency over ceremony. Authority, rooted in outcome, commanded Vader's respect. Tarkin possessed a type of decisiveness that mirrored elements Vader appreciated in leadership, whereas many Imperial officers postured to preserve their careers. Tarkin acted without hesitation. Vader did not need to manage Tarkin's insecurities, because Tarkin did not operate from insecurity. Their dynamic remained clean and functional. Vader had no ambition to govern. Governance requires negotiation, diplomacy, and procedural clarity. Vader was uninterested in political systems. He saw action, not administration. Tarkin managed the systems Vader executed. Outcomes, their difference formed compatibility rather than competition. Vader and Tarkin operated without overlapping ambitions. Tarkin offered Vader predictable structure. Vader offered Tarkin unpredictable power. Structure benefits from power, and power benefits from structure. Vader recognized that working with Tarkin expanded his reach, while operating alone would limit his influence. Tarkin mobilized fleets. Vader mobilized fear. Their roles complemented one another. Vader trusted Tarkin because Tarkin's ambition aligned with Palpatine's vision. Tarkin saw order, not personal glory. His drive was system-oriented, not ego-oriented. Vader recognized shared goals, and cooperation remained stable because neither attempted to undermine the other. Vader did not anticipate betrayal, because betrayal would not benefit Tarkin. Vader allowed Tarkin to command him, because command offered direction. Vader was not interested in being uncontrollable. He was interested in being effective. Being controlled by structure is not subordination, when structure provides purpose. Vader's obedience was strategic, not submissive. Tarkin treated Vader with professional directness, and Vader did not punish directness. Vader punished incompetence and fear confidence from others, reinforced that Vader was being used efficiently rather than being questioned. Waste of time produced anger, competence produced consistency. Vader evaluated relationships through usefulness, not sentiment. Tarkin made Vader more effective. Vader amplified Tarkin's influence. Both benefited from the arrangement. Vader remained with Tarkin because the relationship increased Vader's operational impact. Vader allowed Tarkin to think he commanded the dynamic because Vader recognized that perception sustains order. If officers believed Tarkin controlled Vader, then Tarkin could manage the political structure, while Vader remained free to operate without scrutiny. Vader supported the illusion because the illusion protected his autonomy. When Tarkin's authority no longer aligned with Vader's purpose, Vader disengaged. Vader's loyalty existed only as long as the structure provided direction. The moment the structure became obstructive, Vader shifted course without hesitation. Compliance lasted only while compliance served purpose. Vader allowed control because he chose purpose over dominance. Tarkin provided a system where Vader could act. Vader provided a presence that amplified Tarkin's authority. Vader was not controlled by fear. He was controlled by structure when the structure served him. He complied when it did not. He left purpose, defined obedience, not power.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that share button. My main channel is Critical Analysis Hub, where I post Star Wars content about the movies. My secondary channel is Critical Analysis Hub Plus, where I focus on the shows of Star Wars. And my third channel is Critical Analysis Hub XP, where I post comic books. Be sure to take a moment and check them out. Thanks, and may the Force be with you.